What's up, everybody? Welcome to another primary source walkthrough. This time we are going to be rifling through Harry Truman's announcing the bombing of Hiroshima with the first used atomic bomb in world history. Now, a couple things we need to set up here. The war has been going on for a while. We have been in the war for nearly 3.5 years, or a little more than 3.5 years. We have won in Europe. The Allies, I should say, have won in Europe, thanks to our efforts. But also, the Russians and the British did an awful lot too. But now that the war with Germany is over, we now have to win the war against Japan. And Japan is an enemy in World War II that shows no signs of surrender. For the past few months, the United States had been dropping thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of conventional bombs on cities like Tokyo to try to convince Japan to surrender. And meanwhile, Marines, the Navy, and the other men in uniform are hopping from island and island, from island to island, on their way to the Japanese mainland, and it is a bloody, bloody war of attrition. It is nightmarish, and Truman has just become president kind of out of nowhere because Franklin Roosevelt died. Remember, Franklin Roosevelt had just won a presidential election in 1944. Well, it's 44, 32, 30, 36, 40, 44. Yeah, 44. So, Truman hasn't been in office for very long, and he's presented a plan about the conventional taking over Japan, and it's going to cost us hundreds of thousands of American lives. And we're going to continue to be killing Japanese with these conventional bombs. So, when he becomes president, he learns about this thing called the Manhattan Project, this top secret program to develop a nuclear weapon. And he decides that he's going to use it. And the dropping of the bomb is one of the most consequential decisions ever made by a United States president ever. I can't imagine being Harry Truman. Having that kind of power at your fingertips, almost literally, is mind-blowing to me. But he decides to detonate the bomb. With that decision, he kills over 130,000 people with one device. And still, Japan didn't surrender. We had to drop another one. Had to is an oversight. We didn't have to. I don't think we had to drop this one, but we did. And we've been debating about it ever since. So, now that he's dropped the bomb, he has to tell the American public about it, because the public had no idea. I mean, there had been whispers about us having the bomb since we tested it in New Mexico, but that wasn't too many days before we dropped it on Japan. I mean, basically, we took another one of the bombs that we thought about testing, and that's the bomb we dropped. And in fact, the bomb that we tested just up the road here from El Paso was a different kind of bomb than the one we dropped on Hiroshima. I think that one was a uranium bomb, and the one that we dropped on Hiroshima was a plutonium bomb. Or the other way around, I can't remember. I watched a documentary on this a long time ago, and I need to refresh my memory. In any case, now he's used the bomb, and he's got to explain to the American people that we have it, number one, and number two, why did we use it? So this is what he's up to. Now, he says right from the beginning, like, this is a huge bomb. It's 20,000 tons of dynamite. Imagine that. He explains that we chose a target, a military target, and we had to destroy its usefulness. He immediately goes to why we were doing this. We went to this war because of Pearl Harbor. Now we've repaid that debt. Pearl Harbor was not a nuclear attack. It was a devastating attack, don't get me wrong, but it's not a... this is not an in-kind sort of destruction. It's not a, as they might say in the military, a proportional response. So now he's going to explain how it is we got this bomb and what it is. It's harnessing the basic power of the universe. It's causing a reaction called fission. And when you put elements together and enough of it and create that kind of a reaction, it is explosive. Which is why chemistry is fun sometimes until you have to do the math. And then it's hard. Sorry, chemists. I'm not very good at math. In any case, so he says, well, where did we get the science from this? Because in 1939, we thought that it was possible to release this energy, but we didn't know about how to do it. So in 1942, we learned that the Germans were trying to do atomic energy. And this is the stuff of, like, comic books, guys. Like, I mean, this is the plot of Captain America. I mean, think about the Marvel movie Captain America, the First Avenger, and that story is kind of playing on this idea. And hey, look, the Germans were fairly technologically advanced. They had jets or jet engines, and we didn't, and we had to catch up in a lot of ways. In any case, he points out that the Germans failed to do this, and he says, we may be grateful to Providence, by that he means God, that the Germans got the V1s and the V2s late and in limited quantities, and even more grateful that they did not get the atomic bomb at all. Well, part of the reason was because the United States got a hold of some Nazi scientists and brought them over to the United States in something called Operation Paperclip, including a man named Wernher von Braun, who designed the V2 rocket, and it's Wernher von Braun who designed the Saturn V rocket that took the Apollo astronauts to the moon. The politics of that were fascinating. In any case, he explains that in 1940, before Pearl Harbor, hey, we had pooled all of these resources together between the United States and Britain, and now it's American and British scientists working together who have won this race against the Germans. Now, if you're savvy, you know that the United States had another ally in World War II. Who was that other ally? It was Russia. Where's the Soviet Union here? Why are they being excluded? It's a political decision. The United States and the Soviet Union already were starting to figure out that they don't like each other very much. And Truman does not want Stalin to have this technology. Stalin knows that Truman has it. Stalin has known that Truman and the United States has had this technology. He knew it before the American people did because he had spies. But in any case, we didn't want him to have it. And the Russians won't have the bomb until 1949. But that's a story for next week. In any case, he gives us some details of the Manhattan Project. He's talking about how many people the project employed, up to 125,000. It cost $2 billion. The Manhattan Project was a significant undertaking, and yes, named Manhattan Project because it began in Manhattan, New York, at Columbia University, but eventually came to span the many places across the North American continent. The testing happened out here in the Southwest. Uranium and plutonium and radium and everything else was harvested in Tennessee and other places around the country. It was a truly national undertaking. Um, and one of the things I'm kind of struck by is that he mentions how this is a testament to the power of government to organize science. And I think that's something that you need to wrestle with. And I think in some ways that's kind of an outgrowth of this kind of progressive and New Deal sort of stuff that says the government can solve these problems. Now we have this technological problem. The government is going to be able to help us solve this problem. And it's that same ingenuity that also gives us the Apollo program. So, it can be used for destructive or productive ends. It's something that you have to wrestle with. And a great theme of science fiction, oh, by the way. Now, he continues to say that he's ready to bomb the crap out of Japan. We'll use it again, and he does use it again 3 days later. He says they were warned. Now, on July 26th at Potsdam, he did say that they had a weapon of unique destructive capabilities that they were prepared to use. He did not tell the Japanese that they had a nuclear weapon that they were ready to use and would just about 2 weeks later. I think that this is maybe Truman kind of skirting the issue here. It's a significantly controversial statement that he makes at Potsdam. Some of it has to do with Stalin, because Stalin's there, and Stalin is like, I know you got a bomb. I know you got the atomic bomb. I kind of want that, but Truman doesn't want to tip his hand. It's weird geopolitics. In any case, the last thing that he recommends is a commission to figure out what to do with all of this atomic power. And that's something that we have been wrestling with since. We have treaties in place that limit the number of nuclear weapons we're supposed to have, as does Russia. That said, we have over, I think, 1,300 active nuclear weapons in service right now that can be used at just about any time. We have more than enough to end our world 80 times over. I don't know if that's exact, but we could end the world very, very quickly if we launched our nukes, and that's terrifying. But anyway, I wanted you to read this so that you could see the justification made to the public about one of the most controversial things in American history. So, we'll wrap it up there, but if you have any questions about the use of the atomic bomb, this primary source, or Harry Truman, feel free to reach out to me via email or stop by in office hours. I'm always available to chat with you. So until then, next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll sign off there. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you for the next one.